Welcome back to Origami Snowman. This is it. The final 50, the last 50 holes of desert golf. Who knows? Okay, this is already taking longer than I thought. Anyway, I want to start by thanking you guys for watching these. I know some of them have been more beloved than others. A story about my face. People liked that one. A story about my mother. That one was also very popular. So if you've been watching these for a little while, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, you guys. I haven't gotten really any pushback on these. My wife wonders who's watching these and why. But other than that, no, there's been no negativity, and thank you. There's been a lot of positivity. We've gotten a lot of cool comments. Somebody suggested doing a collaboration, and I had to reluctantly and regretfully decline. That's too much for me. Collaborating, trying to find time for me to do these on my own, or to write on my own, is hard enough as it is, and I find a lot of anxiety in the thought of somebody waiting for me or, relying on me. Even if they're not waiting on me, I still, it's there. And it puts me in a weird mood, and so I had to decline. So if that was you, I do apologize. It's just, for my own sake, to protect myself from anxiety, I have to decline. Anyone who has ever tried to work with me before knows that I mean what I say. It makes me a grumpy person, and I'm not fun to work with. So anyway, thank you guys so much for all the positivity and for sticking around and being generally awesome. I'm sure someone out there has been horrible. You know who you are. I don't, but thank you. And I would like to also apologize to one person in particular, my sister, who I've said some unkind thing. Not unkind. Not like, oh, she's evil, she drinks the blood of the innocent and whatever. No, none of that stuff. But like, you know how you complain about your siblings, right? I did some of that, and I shouldn't have. She's actually a pretty terrific person, and, that. Okay, so moving on. If I haven't made it very, very clear, I think that all people should be kind. I think kindness and compassion are one of humanity's only renewable resources. And unfortunately, we live in a culture currently that does not value them. In fact, our current culture sees kindness and compassion as a weakness, as something deplorable to be avoided, to be mocked, to actually be, to be outlawed. There is active legislation that prevents people from being kind. And what I mean by that, just here's one example. In Indiana, teachers are required to report any student who requests to be known by a different name or who identifies as a different gender. It has to be reported. Now, you might be reporting a student who doesn't feel safe at home, and now you're putting them in a situation where they have to deal with an adult who is neither kind nor compassionate and who is in a genuine position to harm them. So what is happening? Why is the world the way it is? I don't know. And if you say it's because we need more Jesus, I agree. We all could use more Jesus, but here's the problem. We disagree on what that means. You're saying, you need to stop sinning. No. You need to stop judging. You have to love people. If you're going to call yourself a Christian, you have to love people regardless of how you feel about them or the way they live their lives. That's it, period. Now, if you're telling people you have to change before I can love you, that's not Christian. That's easy. Everyone can do that. Like, hey, I don't like you because you only wear blue. I can't like you. So if you incorporate some reds and yellows, maybe a little like a splash of pink, brown slacks are nice. Then I can love you. But it's this monochromatic blue wardrobe you have. Sorry, that's ridiculous. Your dumb little standards mean nothing to me. You either like me for me or you move on and shush. But you don't get to call yourself a Christian if you're trying to change everyone, if you're trying to update everyone, bring everybody up to speed so that I can like you. That's not what that is, people. And I'd prefer it if you maybe call yourself something else so the rest of us don't have to be associated with you anymore. Which is not a very Christian thing to say, I realize, but I'm also not a very good Christian. Moving on. I think we need more kindness and compassion in the world because I have met so many amazing people who feel like they don't belong in the world. They've been told that they don't belong here. You're not right. Something's wrong with you. You're broken. Wrong planet, wrong time, wrong dimension. Something's off. You don't belong here. And I'm sorry, but you tell some of the kids on my bus that they don't belong, you're awful. If you make these kids if you make these kids feel like they're not valued, then you're just an evil, vile person. That's all there is to it. And I mean treating my kids, the kids on my bus who I've met over the years, as kind of a cross section of the world. And I hear their complaints and I hear their concerns, and it all stems from people who think they know what's best for everyone, and they don't have anyone else's concerns. They know what's best for everybody, but they really only want their thing. They're not actually interested in helping everyone. They're only interested in being right. And that is so irrelevant. Being right, there is quite literally no value in being morally right. There is nothing at all. If you put moral correctness and procedure ahead of the well-being of others, then you have just devalued moral correctness and procedure. If that's just the way it is, means that someone is going to feel unloved and they're going to hurt themselves as a result, then that should not be the way it is. The way it is needs to change. Because we can't stop putting people last. It's so upsetting that we look at it and we say, well, it's just the way it is. Well, guess what? We're the ones who decide that. If we don't like it, we can change it. But the problem is we don't want to change it because it takes work, and change is scary. However, you can change the world for people by the way you treat them. If you really want to make an impact in someone's life, in literally anyone's life, spend a little bit of time trying to like them. That, it seems simple, but it's actually pretty complicated, because it requires that you get to know them, that you look past certain objectionable things. Now, we all have different things that we consider objectionable. If you say there's a weird smelly kid who sits across from you on the bus, look past that. There's something going on that is likable. Maybe it's not the smell, maybe he's a little weird, whatever. But you keep digging and you're going to find something likable. You're going to find something worth your time. And once you start liking those people who, maybe you consider unlovable, it's going to change the way you look at everyone. We all say, it's so easy to say, oh, everyone's got something. We're all lovable in some way or another. Ray Stevens, everybody's beautiful in their own way. We can say that, but it's so much harder to find that lovable, beautiful thing. But once you start trying and you start looking and you start saying, okay, so I'm going to ignore their politics. I don't like their politics. We don't get along. We're not ever going to see eye to eye politically. But there's something out there that we have in common that we're going to bond over. It could be something as simple as, we like the same kind of music, or we have the same weird sense of humor. That might be all it takes, Or, you know what? I just found out that this guy, who I kind of hate, is starting to read Brandon Sanderson, and he had some questions about the Cosmere, and we had the best conversation. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's something like maybe you don't like him, but you like something he is into. Maybe that's all it is, that one little connection. Whatever loose thread you have to grab onto, do it. But once you start trying to like people, like really like them, everything changes because you approach everyone differently. You'll still feel hurt. You'll still feel frustrated. You will still disagree with decisions. But I went a long time without liking people. I had a couple of friends. I had a few people that I liked, but I never sought anyone out. It was rare. Growing up, I was very much a people person. I thought I was such an extrovert. But it wasn't that. It was mostly I needed people around me so that I had confirmation that I was okay, that my joke was funny, that the drawing I did was good, that whatever. I needed that confirmation because I didn't know enough to like myself. I didn't trust my own opinion. So I needed to be around people so that I could have that validation. But as I grew older, I realized I don't know that I like being around people. And I realized that people weren't healthy for me. I needed to know who I was without people. I needed to be able to have my own opinion without people. I used to watch movies and not know how I felt about it until I talked to other people. And then I started to realize I actually do have an opinion. I know how I feel. I don't care what everybody says. The Dark Knight Rises was a terrible movie. I knew that walking out of the theater. It took people a decade to figure it out. And, there was a time when I would have just been like, oh, Avatar's the most popular movie ever. Great. It's my favorite. That movie's also terrible, by the way. So I just, I went from, as a child, being very much an extrovert, or I thought I was, to being, as an adult, kind of a grumpy introvert. And now I'm realizing that it's plural people, like large groups of people. That's what upsets me. You put me with a handful of individuals, and I will probably be okay. I will probably be quite happy. It's kind of got to be the right people. But I just think that I think that when you start trying to like people, you're gonna find that they're a lot less upsetting. I don't mean like in the way that you go to Kroger and some old lady blocks the whole aisle with her sideways cart while she tries to decide which graham cracker crust is best for her pie. But when someone is struggling to explain their position, when that position is absolutely the opposite of what you believe, and you're sitting there thinking, this idiot doesn't even know what he believes. Listen to him stutter and stumble over his words. Well, if you try to like people, That makes you more willing to be patient with them. And I'm telling you, patience and impatience, they're both very infectious. They are contagious. If you're at the grocery store and you're waiting in line and the lady in front of you has why am I using so many grocery store? I'm hungry. That's why grocery store metaphors come out when I'm hungry. But if you see her rummaging around for all of her coupons and you're just like, oh my word, I just want to go, and you're tapping your foot and you're giving her a dirty look, and guess what? She feels it. She knows it. Nothing she can do about it. She came with her coupons. She came to get groceries. She's here. She's doing it. Deal with it. But the people behind you are seeing that, and they're also getting impatient, and the cashier's getting impatient. And this little old lady is getting everybody impatient with her. That's not going to make her day any better. In fact, she's probably going to go to get lunch, and some teenager in the drive-thru, she's impatient. You were impatient with her. Now she's going to be impatient with them, and it spreads. But if you're patient, if you're just calm, if you just are pleasant, and if you're like, oh, no, you're good. Take your time. We're great. Even if you're in a hurry, being impatient doesn't speed things up. It's infectious, and that's how it is with liking people. Just try to like people. Pick one person. Doesn't even have to be a person you don't like. It might just be a stranger. And be like, I'm going to find something about this person that I like. All right, you guys, here we go. Like people and they'll like you back, I guess is the trick. I don't know what it is. But here we go. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, you're ready. Here is hole 10,000. How embarrassing if it wasn't a hole in one. Oh, I'd throw my phone. Hey, we did it, you guys. We did it. Whole 10,000. Oh my gosh. When I started doing this, I did not think we'd get here. But we did. And I love you guys so very much. Don't forget, be kind. Do your best. Have fun. Be kind. That's what I tell my bus kids every day. Do your best. Have fun. Be kind. I love you guys. And I don't know what's coming next. I got to get some writing done, but I want to keep making videos. Probably not as many as I do right now. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Stick around for more, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Boo! Sploosh.